Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Well, good morning, weirdos. Let's see what is going on today. Can I see me? Am I active? Hey, there I am. Now, can I hear me? Hey, there I am. I guess I can hear me too. I guess this officially means that we are live this morning. It is well after 5 in the a.m. And I am here. I'm going to put on some socks because we're civilized people here. So let's put on some socks. There's one sock there. My Argyle socks. I'm an Argyle sock kind of guy. I am a flannel pajama kind of guy. So you might have seen me wear this shirt before. One of my favorite concert shirts. I got this. It says 2022 on the sleeve, but I got it in February of 2023 when we saw Harry Styles on his birthday. And they weren't really ready for the show. It was kind of an impromptu thing. The new Acrisure Arena out here where the Firebirds hockey team plays is a pretty cool arena. It's kind of small, which makes it really fun to see a concert at because it is so damn intimate. We saw Harry do the same show at the Forum during his residency, and it was a phenomenal show. But to see the same show only in a stadium half the size, it was freaky. Freaky. So cheers. Coffee. Coffee's a little greedy this morning. But still good. So yeah, I'm wearing this shirt in honor of the concert tonight that we're going to. We're going here to Pioneer Town at Pappy and Harriet's to see Mitch Rowland, Harry's guitar player, and Harris Harper. Harris Harper is Ben Harper's daughter, and I believe the Harry's drummer, I can't remember her name, but she is an awesome drummer. She will hopefully be there as well, since she and Mitch are dating. So there you go. I'm not getting a meter on my thing there. That's why I keep tapping the microphone. Usually I get a little meter thing that bops up when I'm making noise here. So when it doesn't bop up, I tend to tap the microphone. So sorry if I am annoying you with my tapping. Oh, that's really good. So yeah, Mitch the Stitch Rowland should be pretty awesome. Last time I saw him, he had a balloon tied to the neck of his guitar. I imagine because of Harry's birthday. I don't think it meant party over here. I'm still riding high because of that song I wrote. It's nothing special, really. It's more of a novelty song, really. Most of the songs that I write are novelty songs, really. It's like my t-shirts, right? Yeah. I mean, I just started off to write a little theme music for a video segment that I want to do, right? Let's go to the movies, right? Neat little idea for a video segment. You know, I get to discuss my favorite movies. Not new movies, of course, old movies. I got my reel-to-reel up here, just like this one here. I got one up for recording so that I can create some more video content for YouTube, for my channel. Yeah. You know, some people comment on occasion that my place here is messy. And while it may seem messy, it gets a little cluttered because it's my studio, it's my living room, it's my office, it's my dining room, it's my play area. I mean, it's pretty much everything in this room. That bass guitar is not mine. That belonged to David. I'll probably get it back to him today or tomorrow since he's off. And since we're going to a show tonight, I'll either see him tonight or something. Wow. I had a beer last night. Woo! It is amazing. I don't drink beer often. I don't drink anything often, really. Well, anything alcoholic. It's just not my bag, baby. Yeah, so every morning I start this thing, and it begins with confusion because I'm not sure if I'm heard or seen or any of that shit. Yeah. What did we eat last night? Does anybody have difficulty remembering what the hell they had for dinner? It happens to me every damn day. The only reason why I remember what I have in the morning is because I have the same friggin' thing every morning. Unless I don't. But usually I do. Cereal bar and coffee. I can't do any more than that. There's no way. Let's see. We went and got, we didn't go anywhere. But we called and got us a delivery from Green Pearl Organics, Righteous Place. It's nice to go to a place where they know your name. They know you by sight. Hey, what's going on, dude? And most especially, I know it's in my computer file, but most especially, they know what I like. They know what I don't like. They know the brands that I like, the strains that I like. They know that I don't like any spray-on flavor or spray-on anything. I mean, I don't do perversion of the marijuana. The marijuana needs to stay pure. And then it goes in me. And then I'm pure. Dude, I dig this TV and that rabbit. I don't know what it means. I really don't. I'm not one of those super fans by any means, on any level, for any group. Just not. Yeah, sure, I get excited about groups. Yeah, sure, I got every Iron Maiden album from the 1980s. I've got every Judas Priest 8-track. Every 8-track they made except for 2. But I'm not, I'm not going to go see them in concert. That was then. This is now. Yeah. Finish eating here. Oh, a few things to remember. Oh, I fixed my van yesterday. I replaced the little tensioner pulley, just the pulley though, on my belt. And I was going to replace the belt, but the belt looked so damn good. I decided, nah, let's leave the belt. So I put the belt in the van, tucked it away with the spare parts. Like a thermostat housing, extra coolant, oil. I try to keep a couple of little things in case something happens, and I'm lucky and I have the right thing, right? Yeah. But yeah, a couple of things to remember. This week, Friday, my daughter has a guest coming in from out of town. Charlie's going to be here to go see another show. Third time, I think Charlie's come from Arizona. Yeah. As long as we've been doing vacation rentals, we've been getting vacation rentals once or twice a year for my daughter, mainly, because we live in such a shack, a little tiny mobile home, that's really not easy to have guests over here for big things. As you'll notice if you ever stop by for Friday Night Live. Oh, well. So, Charlie's coming to town Friday. And so, of course, I tried to talk my daughter into a party. I keep threatening that I'm going to throw a party. Okay, so tell your friends to be there Saturday night at 5, She's like, no, Daddy, no. Okay, all right. So be sure to invite your friends. No. All right, what do you want to eat at your party? No. She's not any other kid would be like, yeah, throw me a fucking party, yeah. She's like, I got homework to do. That was her answer. Nah, I'm going to be doing homework the whole weekend. Yeah, that's my girl. So I really wanted to throw her a party. Invite some of her friends over, some of our friends over, mutual friends. Have a couple of people over to play some live music. Some food, some beer, some wine. Have a little get together. She put the kibosh on that so quick. She's like, nope. I got it all planned out. Picking up Charlie. We'll spend the weekend doing homework and going to my show on Monday. Okie dokie. Whatever you say, baby. It's your world. And so yeah, next week is going to be kind of weird. Monday evening, my wife and I are driving the kids, Charlie and Natalie, to Anaheim, to the Honda Center, to see Fall Out Boy again. Yeah. The wife and I are not going this time. We were just at the Honda Center, if you remember, just a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, or doesn't seem like it was very long. But so the kids are going back to the Honda Center to see Fall Out Boy. Again, this will be their third or fourth time seeing Fall Out Boy. My daughter's third or fourth time. Good for her. good for her that she's finally coming into her own and recognizing the things that she likes and going after the things that she likes. That's awesome. And it's a different world. So, it would have been fine for me back in the 80s had I been this father. But it's even more unusually normal now. I mean, my daughter, she has her friend, Charlie. He comes out every, once or twice a year just to come and hang out and go to a show. Right? Oh, these sniffles drive me nuts. I'm sure you guys aren't having too much fun listening to me and my sniffles. Yeah, let me see if I can cork this down here. Hey. And then, so I think the little woman and I are going to go to downtown Disney Monday evening. It's been years since we've been to Disneyland, and so years since we've been to downtown Disney. I don't really want to go into the park for just a couple of hours. If we had passes, that would be different. We would just show up and hang out and spend a little time there as often as possible. But we don't do that anymore. Possibly there is going to be someone nearby who I know, Flower, who might actually want to meet up at some point for a drink or, I don't know what's there. Jose Joe's there anymore. I mean, can we go get some guacamole? Get some guacamole. But yeah, I mean, we're just going to kill a couple of hours kind of walking around, taking in the smells and the sights and the sounds and everything of downtown Disney. And just try to stay busy for a couple of hours while they're at their show. And then we'll pick them up, hit in and out, and we'll be back. The only thing is that the following night, Tuesday night, David and I are going to Santa Ana to see Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real. Woo! So I got back-to-back nights. Of course, I'm driving Monday night, and hopefully David will be driving Tuesday night, because we don't need me doing 2 nights in a row and then trying to stay awake late. But chances are we won't be getting in and out on the way home from the second night. I can't do back-to-back in and outs. Oh, that coffee's so good. But I gotta warm it up. I gotta. Oh, yeah. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. So, yeah. Let's see. Mitch Rowland tonight. Fall Out Boy Monday. And Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real on Tuesday. That's freaking awesome. Tonight, however, should be quite a blast. I checked, and the concert for tonight at Pappy and Harriet's is still not sold out. Of course, they're claiming low tickets, but I think they always say that the closer they get to the show, so they could try to sell out. Which, good for them if they could sell out. Good for Mitch. I mean, always support your artists, right? But it's okay if they don't sell out for me, because there'll be fewer people in the place, and it's a small place. It's literally a couple of hundred people around the stage, and then the rest of the restaurant that can't see the stage. So, and I don't know that Mitch Rowland is going to have enough of a fan base out here to actually have a big show. I'm hoping that it's so sedated, right, and subdued with so few people that we'll be able to just like be the show. We're going to bring his record, which already is. She bought the signed copy, so I said, "We'll bring it anyway. We'll get him to, if we can get him to sign it, have him put your name there. Dear Natalie, thank you for being a big fan. I love you so much." Right? Who knows? Oh, that's good hot. Okay, so Monday, probably not going to be here. I am going to have to stay up late and sleep in on Monday in order to get up late to get to the show and have enough energy to stay up until 3 in the morning, because that's about what time I get home after one of these shows in LA. Right, LA area, San Diego area. We're looking at 3, 4 in the morning before I'm home and starting to come down from the road. Right, this is all I see. I just see lines. I just see lines going by and headlights coming at me. I cannot come home and go right to sleep after all that driving, because I will literally wake up in the middle of the night smashing into something, or going off a cliff, or wake up just at the moment of impact. No, it's hard enough to stay awake, and then it's hard enough to go to sleep. I'm going to try to butt heads with the two, and then throw driving into the mix. It's horrible. I'm using the same cup as yesterday because I neglected to show it, and I really enjoy showing my cups. So here we go. Back in the late 90s, when my wife and I got together, we were doing Disneyland quite frequently because we worked within an hour of Disneyland, and our employers bought annual passes for the major employees in the company. Well, she's my girlfriend, so we got her a pass too. So we would go Disneyland quite regularly, right? Lot of fun. But it's been like forever since we've gone and just hung out and partied. Well, we used to go there quite frequently, a lot, and I wish we could go a lot more, but it's expensive. Yeah. Anyways, so tonight, Mitch Rowland. Monday night, Fall Out Boy for my daughter and Charlie, and Downtown Disney for my wife and I. And then Tuesday night, me and David going back out to the city, to Santa Ana, to the observatory, to see Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real. Now, the last time I saw him, of course, was out here at Pappy and Harriet's, so there was only like 500 or 600 people in the audience. We're looking at several thousand now in a big old theater type place. So we're going to get out there early and hopefully get in and get a good seat real close to the front, because it's general admission, but there are seats. So we need to get there. We need to get there really early. I can't remember what my daughter got as far as tickets. I'll have to get that situated. But I'm real excited about going to these shows, but at the same time I'm kind of bummed because I will not have the energy to be here. Just not at all. Like I said, I've got to sleep in Monday so that I can deal with Monday night. I'm going to have to then again sleep in Tuesday so that I can get up and run down and jump in a car with David and take off, which means I'll probably throw stuff in the back of my van for Tuesday night so that when we get back into town Wednesday morning, I have the option of just sleeping in the van or dragging my ass home, about a half an hour drive from David's. And then, of course, if I'm going to get home on Tuesday and it is extremely late in the morning, you might see me here exhausted on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, which won't be so bad because I don't have to do much but put on a radio show. Okay. So Wednesday is up in the air. Thursday might be a day, but then my daughter said, just take the whole week off. I'm not doing this for anyone but myself. So taking a whole week off is a big bummer, right? Because I really enjoy being able to, pardon me, I really enjoy being able to do this. Get on, empty myself a little bit, talk about things, work things out, share my excitement about things. So we're going to have to go. We don't know. We'll just say we don't know. Next week could be a week off. It could be a hit and miss. If I had enough subscribers, I would be taking you guys with me live on Monday night, tonight, on Monday night, on Tuesday night, most definitely tonight. I don't know if there's a strong signal out there in Pioneer Town. It's kind of in the sticks. If there is, and I've got 50 subscribers, I can go live and I will say, hey, here's where I'm at. Here's Mitch Rowland. Here's Downtown Disney. Here's Lucas Nelson. My life used to be really mundane and boring, and the days were all the same. The days are really weird and different now. My life has changed dramatically in the last year and a half, 2 years, and it just keeps doubling down on the change. Every time I look up, I pick my head up from what I'm doing, and something else is going on. Out of the blue, I'll get a phone call or a message from somebody about something to do or go, or and it's different than my life used to be. And if you saw some of my social media postings from the last few years, my life has pretty much just been about stuff in this room, basically. The music, the movies, the pictures, the vintage artifacts. I mean, this is pretty much who I am. And so to be able to go out and take this out to the rest of the world now, it's pretty heavy. Man, I need this coffee this morning. Oh, yeah. Big time. So next week, it's going to be tough. But we'll see. We might be here. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we got going on? I mean, it's only going to be a couple of weeks or a month or something before my daughter's got another show popped up somewhere. I mean, literally, she has to write them all down for me so that I won't forget, because there's so many things just popping up out of the blue all the time now, that I literally had to get a book to keep track of all this shit. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Fall Out Boy on the 4th. Lucas Nelson on the 5th, and then April 27th. The kids, Charlie's coming back out for 2 shows. Oh, for 1 show. On the 27th, April. I don't know how, but they found me. Oh, that should be fun, right? These kids listen to some great new music, as well as stuff that I'm not familiar with because I stopped listening to music in the mid-90s. But like Los Campesinos, right? That's some good shit right there. Oh, the Killers. So my daughter and I, in August, right before my birthday, we're going to go see Killers finally. I missed the Killers when they were new. My daughter introduced me to the Killers. So they're one of my favorite new groups, even though they're not new. And then When We Were Young festival in October, right? And that's one of those festivals. So, and it's in Vegas at Caesar. No. The Killers is at Caesars. The When We Were Young festival is just at one of those festival grounds in Vegas. So I won't be going to the whole show. The kids will be going in without me, and I'll be showing up later in the evening for the main act. Because there's no way I'm going to be worth a piss all day and all night. There's just no way, not now. So I will probably be dropping them off and hanging out in a room until the evening, trying to get some rest so that I can handle staying up late partying. And then it'll be back to the room. I believe we're going to do 2 nights for this festival. Yeah, I think we're driving up the day before and I'm going to get a room and then do the show and then go back to the room after the show so that we don't have to do a drive out and drive back to Vegas because it's like a 4-hour drive. It's like, over 8 hours for the turnaround and not after an all day thing. No way. And we do, my wife does have family there. We have in-laws in Vegas. I'm pretty sure we still do. So we might work something out with them where we can go stay with them for a night and then stay in a room for a night. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. It's always nice to go see family. My wife's family anyway. I can't say the same about my own family. And mainly because they just don't want to have anything to do with me. I get it. I'm not part of the family anyway, really. I'm just that oddball, that odd guy. That guy that they kept around for years because they were supposed to. So, and everybody has their own ways of thinking about. Oh, and then before I let you go here with this, in November we see Los Tigres del Norte, one of my wife and I's favorite Mexican groups. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I don't remember where I was. Totally. But that's a lot of stuff going on. This is just, I think I had her put on here shows that we've been to, as well as shows that were upcoming. And let me just run through here again and see. What is Caifanes? I don't know what that means, but my wife and I saw them. And Harry Styles, Love on Tour, twice, 3 times. Because my daughter saw Harry during the first run of Love on Tour in 2021. And then came back the next year, and we saw him during the 15-night residency. And then we saw him again at the Acrisure Arena out here on his birthday, right? Um, Love on, or yeah, that was Love on Tour, the 3 shows, spread over like 3 years. Wow, what a tour, huh? He needs a break. We saw the 1975 at their very best. Lucas Nelson, Pierce the Veil, Fall Out Boy, Paramore. Paramore was fantastic. We saw the 1975 still at their very best at the Hollywood Bowl. That was phenomenal. And then the last one we went to was the iHeartRadio concert with just a shitload of shit. Was great. So things have, the last couple of years have just been like a whirlwind, right? I've never been to so many concerts all in that short a period of time. And my daughter just keeps packing those shows in. I mean, she's got so many shows under her belt in the last 2 or 3 years, more than I've done in my whole life, right? When she gets done with this year, she will have seen, she will have seen so many shows. She will be competing with me for show count. Of course, I keep seeing shows with her, so she's having a hard time catching up, passing me. But my first show was 1978 Rolling Stones, Angel Stadium. My second concert was 1979, the Doobie Brothers, Del Mar Fairgrounds. And then, from there it was into the 80s, and it was all 80s from then on. Robert Plant, The Firm, Pink Floyd, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, all that shit. But yeah, she's giving me a run for my money. She's seeing some shows, and that's awesome. I mean, I can't express how proud I am of her, just on an academic level. Not to mention personally, and she's just an awesome kid. So she deserves everything she gives to herself. Yeah. So we got a delivery yesterday from Green Pearl Organics, and I got some of this jet fuel Otter Pops, and it is a indica sativa hybrid. It's pretty right in the middle. It has a gassy, earthy pine flavor. The effects are balanced and focused. And this is by Coastal Sun, one of my favorite distributors, suppliers. So I'll take a nice little couple of chunks here. I usually will get my orders on Sunday, because Sunday is when I will usually do the most work and can then afford it after bills and rent and that kind of shit. But it's also because it's a slow day, not for me, but for deliveries. And then I'm ready for the week, especially when I've got stuff going on, shows or driving or what have you. At some point, I want to try to set up some kind of party, right? And we're looking at, not a, like, let's do like a 3 kegger, dude. I'm kind of past that, although I'm not opposed to, tapping a keg and having a bunch of people over. I'm just, I don't know a lot of people. I mean, if I were to throw a party, it would be like telling a couple of people, invite some people, because I don't know. But actually, I could probably find at this point to invite who might actually come. A couple different families that we're familiar with, friends with, some individuals that I've become acquainted with recently, So like if I threw a party, I would invite a lot of the people from the open mic night thing, and hope and request that they bring instruments so we could have like an impromptu jam session party thing, like we used to do back in the day, right? So yeah, I'd like to do one of these party things and bring it to you live, so that you can see that the past is still alive, and even if the past is alive in just one person, right? Then the world can be seated with the past, right? That's all it takes. It takes one person to come in and say, "Hey, man, remember this shit? Don't you guys remember how cool it was to like do this?" That's all it takes. You know? I gotta warm this agave up. It just cools down too quick. All right, upsy daisy. Upsy doodle. All right, no wedgie, no wedgie. All right. Reagan. Yeah, so like, I think we need more of the past here in the present. Really, I do. Every day that I am in the world and out there mixing with people, I try to be a reminder that the past is an okay place to be. Before I used to have to, be here in order to time travel into the past, right? And kind of take myself back and get those feelings, from the past. And more and more and more, it feels like when I go out into the world, I'm time traveling from the past to the future. Okay, you get it? Because I don't belong in the present. I belong in the past. I keep thinking how happier I would be at this age back in the 80s, right? If I could be this guy that I am now, a dad, a husband, a pseudo musician, I think I would probably be in my element, but at the same time, probably overshadowed by the entirety of the 80s, right? Or as me being here in the present, I'm more of a novelty, right? Whereas back then, I would just be considered excess baggage. I would just be considered more of what is already there, right? So I'm happy to be in both places at once, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's okay to be here in the present as long as I have the past with me in some capacity, right? Whether it's an artifact or a feeling or a song in my head, whatever, something to make me feel comfortable in the present is usually a tie to the past, right? Okay. We got to get this Bong Hits in me here so I can try to escape some of this fucking neck pain here. Let's see, last night I was probably asleep by 11, right? I'm going to say after 11, closer to midnight. So I'm still only getting my usual 3 or 4 hours sleep. right about the time I'm waking up, my daughter is going to sleep. She's almost 20 in college, so it's not uncommon for someone of her caliber to be holding odd hours. Um, Her first class, she's got two classes on campus during the week. Her first class is on Mondays at noon, and then again Wednesdays at noon. It's only a 90-minute class, but on Wednesday she's got to go back from 6 to 9 or 6:30 to 9:30, which is kind of a drag, which is why she keeps late hours. Like me, she likes to be fully awake and refreshed when she goes to her evening classes or any classes. So she stays in bed and asleep until a couple of hours before class. Then she gets up, gets her acts together, eats, and goes to class. So she comes and naps in between classes on Wednesdays. So she's got the energy. I mean, she gives it her all. Every class, every day is just as important as the last and the next, right? She shows no quarter when she has to get in and take it up. Of course, she's half procrastinator on her father's side, so it's real easy for her to put off. But just like her father, when she's under pressure and she's got to do it at the last minute, she bangs it out. Done, over with. Did you get your stuff last night? Yeah. When did you get it done? Last minute. And that's just the way it is. And that's the way she works, and it works great for her. She can spend all of her time doing what she wants and then banging it out when she needs to. And that's heavy. She's got a couple of more years of this at the university, and then it's all, it's all up in the air. Does she want to continue schooling, or does she want to jump into the workforce? I honestly hope that she would continue schooling, right? She gets summers off, right? So you get a whole 3 months to yourself, right? And then going to school is a lot different than going to work. It is a job, but it's so much more beneficial, and it's ever changing. It's constantly recycling into itself, and you're having to, okay, now I got to do this class and this class and this class. I'm leaving this stuff behind, and I'm moving on, and I'm doing this. So you're constantly moving and changing and moving and changing. And I don't know that. I know that I'm not that workaday guy who could go 9 to 5, 25 years. I just know, not me. Some people out there are made like that. I'm not. It's got to be something different, as seen by my life of jobs that I've had under my belt. I think like 18 months, maybe a couple of years. I think working for Dan and Dan, I worked a few years for them, and I worked a few years in plastics at PDP, and then I did a lot of painting. And I think that probably the longest I stayed with a painting company, aside from my friend Chris, was probably 18 months. And it's just because I get so bored with the work, I get frustrated with the people, I just over it, and I got to move on. I need something different. So cheers, bums away. Yeah, so this stuff is a little stronger. It's got kind of a harsher bite to it. Yeah. Oh, sniffy. Wow. Anyway, I get that post-nasal drip when I smoke or eat or drink from too much cocaine back in the 80s, cocaine. We was doing too much cocaine. That's okay. I'm over that now. I don't want and I don't need any drugs. I mean, this here is the only thing that I want or need. When I want to get high now, it's because I need to get rid of some pain. It's neat that weed doesn't affect me like it does Junior. I'm so fucking stoned. No, I wasn't even like that when I was a teenager because I had grown up around marijuana. When I was in my teens in junior high, right, in high school, I had already been around marijuana for 10, 12 years, okay? Which means that Johnny Contact here had been getting high since he was a little baby, right? When my mother was pregnant with me, she was smoking marijuana. And when I was born, I was surrounded by marijuana constantly, right? So I am a marijuana baby. What was he saying? I don't know, something about babies, man. But as a teenager, I mean, I had already been around it for so long that I was a veteran functioning marijuana smoker, right? So I could function doing things that others couldn't because it was just my tolerance for it was way high, right? I would have to literally smoke a bunch in order to get to where my friends were at a couple of hits, right? And I'm still like that. So much so that genetically, I believe I've passed this tolerance on to my daughter, all right? I mean, she's been around it her whole life because of me, right? I was never really one for being in the room with her while I was smoking, all right? I was always removed in a different area, or I'd take a hit and blow it somewhere else or something, until she hit puberty, and we all know what that means for a young lady. And then when she would have her ailments and would have cramping, I would just say, well, why don't you sit here in the room with me while I'm getting high, right? And it actually helped her to alleviate the pain that she was in. And she wasn't smoking it. She was just kind of in the room with the smoke around her, kind of getting a contact high, kind of a secondhand buzz, right? Which is how I grew up, right? I didn't start smoking. I didn't smoke until I was like 13, and then I didn't start smoking full time until I was about 15 or 16, and that only meant a couple of joints a week, right? A couple of hits a day, maybe. But she would never like when I was a teenager and like Vicky's little brother would be around and we'd be getting high and stuff. We'd call him Johnny Contact because he would just get goofy, silly, just being in the room with us, right? He would just get such a quick contact buzz. My daughter never liked that. In fact, just recently, she had some cramping, was out of pills, and she's like, nah, I don't want to do the smoke thing. I don't want, I'm doing my homework here, and I don't want to have, pot smoke around, or I don't want to sit and pot smoke, whatever the reasons were. So I said, I've got some edible gummies in there, some sativa gummies, indica and whatnot. You want to try a little slice of those, and they're 50 milligram blocks that I chop up into 5 pieces, and then I took one of those 5 pieces and chopped that up into 4, and she was just nibbling on that. Well, just one of these little pieces would normally make someone like my wife just go, ugh, right? My daughter just had to keep eating them because it just wasn't phasing her. She started to feel okay physically, but it just wasn't affecting her mentally, which was unusual, but way cool. And I chalk it up to my DNA, all right? Because I fathered so late in life that the genetic memories that I passed on to my daughter are greater than those that would have passed their genetic memory on as a teenager or as a 20-year-old, right? You don't have really a whole lot of genetic memory the younger you are, but I think the older you are when you have children, the more physically you're able to pass on to them their tolerance for things, their ability to do things, their creativity, their intelligence, their instincts. That's an important thing. Instincts. My friend Andrew has only been married for about 10 years, and his children are very young. Okay, so I'm anxious to see, and you can already see it in his oldest, in his daughter, that she has a lot of his and her genetic memory imprinted upon her, because she is so everything that I see about her on Facebook, and I don't get to be allowed to be involved in a lot of people's lives. But from what I see, she's so much like her parents. It's got to be chalked up to some kind of passing through the genes. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. There's got to be something there, right? So yeah, I'm just pleased as punch that my daughter's got her shit together. And like I mentioned the other day, it's all my wife, and she's like the main reason why my daughter has her shit together, because my wife's got her shit together, which is why I married her, because I couldn't marry someone like me, which is where I was most of the time, floundering around when I was single. I would usually wind up with some yutz who was more like me than not, and it's usually a bad combination. Opposites attract for a reason, right? If you take, two kooks, you're going to get a real fucking kook, right? That's as easy as I can explain it. You're going to get a kooky super nerd, which is what we got, right? So she's together. Yeah, she's a remarkable person. I love you, Natalie. But anyway, enough of the mushy stuff. We're going out tonight. We're going out tonight. We're going out tonight. We're going out tonight. If anybody's going to watch this and chime in or something, anybody watch that movie? Huh? Cypher in the Snow. Did it make anybody cry? All right. I know at some point, when I further get my shit together here, I'll be using my projector, my 16 millimeter projector, to show some film, right? Because that'll be neat. We should be able to get away with that, especially school films and oddball stuff that algorithms aren't going to recognize, right? And if we don't show it full somewhere and park me back here with a projector, then we're watching. We're hanging out. We're enjoying. Maybe I'll do it so that you could see the projector and the screen at the same time, and so you get that feel of like when we were in school. And who wants to work the projector? And who wants to pull the curtains? And David, you get the lights. I never got to do any of that crap. I never got to pass out anything. They never picked me to go be the monitor. Okay, Mike's in charge. No. I got ignored. I got marginalized. I was the guy who nobody wanted to talk about. I was the guy who got ignored. Watch my documentary, They Call Me Mike. Hi, They Call Me Mike. There's a little bit in there. I don't go into any heavy personal details in that. Just kind of an overview of who I was back then and why. but I never really got into a whole lot of detail. So I think I'm going to have to probably do, you know, some kind of high, they call me Mike part 2, so we can see a little bit more about who I am, and why I am who I am, and how I became the why that I am. Because it was an interesting ride. It really was. Yeah, I was born in the 60s and grew up in the 70s and 80s. And by the 90s, I was just lost, right? Just completely lost. I had no clue what I was going to do, where I was going to go. And I didn't even give a fuck. I really did not give a shit. I tried to give a shit. I tried to graduate high school and stay in as long as I can, even though I was homeless most of the time. I went to trade schools to try to better myself. I moved around to try to follow work. And, you know, so my life has been really a fun, bizarre challenge. But like I said, it's been fun. I mean, if I couldn't say that I'd change anything, because if I were to change even one little thing that happened to me, I wouldn't be here with you now. I wouldn't have my wife and daughter. I mean, one little thing changed, 40 years ago would have sent me in such a different direction that I would never have been able to make it back to, unless it was fate. I don't know that I believe in fate, but that I would be able to make it back around right to here, right now, right? Where would the fates have taken me back then? Had I, had I stayed on my 10 speed, right? Had I stayed a bicyclist, right? Or had I stayed trying to become a singer or musician? Or if I had gone and stayed with the school and kept going to, college and university and on, so many different off ramps and merges and things that I've just completely passed by. Right, here's an opportunity for you. Fuck that opportunity, and I just keep traveling on down the road, And I guess it probably comes from my family's past and being used to being on the road. I don't feel comfortable in a home, in a house, because it's not wheels. You can't just get behind the wheel, start it up, and take it the fuck away. And so living in something that has concrete roots, concrete and rebar, I just, it doesn't feel right. Maybe it's a flaw. Maybe it's my genes harkening back to my nomadic ancestry. I don't know. But I'm a wanderer. I'll always have holes in my shoes because I cannot fucking sit still. That's it. That's all there is to it. Being here, actually, being in this town, being in here in this mobile home, that travel trailer that we lived in for the first 10 years of my daughter's life, that was our home. But we could pick it up and move it, and we did. It went from Southern California to Northern Nevada and back, and the journey bringing it home was quite exciting. I'll tell you about that someday. Driving up in a Geo Metro to pick up a 28-foot travel trailer. That was fun. But being here in this place, we've been here since my daughter was since she started the 7th grade, junior high. And she's finishing up her second year of college. So, I mean, that right there, this is 8 years. Get out of here. No, it can't be 8 years. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, yeah, it's eight fucking years we've been here. Go on. See, now that's weird to me. That feels really weird. Because normally, or previously, I would have these itches, these urges, like we gotta move, we gotta do something. Something's gotta change, right? And I don't feel that, you know. I actually feel comfortable. So 8 years, 6 years before that, so we've been in this valley here, right, for 14 years. You know, that's most of my daughter's life. So, you know, aside from Lake Elsinore, this is the longest I've been in one place, you know. And it's not just necessity that dictates that we be here. I mean, we used to follow the work. It's like, okay, well, there's work over in this area, so we're moving over there. We're going to follow the work, and everybody suck it up. We're going. And I didn't want that, because, like I said, my family was on the road and on the run for like 12 years from the 70s and 80s. And I would go to 2, 3, 4 schools in 1 year. And I didn't want that for my daughter. In fact, when we moved from northern Nevada down to Vista and then eventually up here, my daughter went to, at one point, she had done 3 schools in 1 year. And when we got out here, this was her 3rd school in 1st grade, right? And I said, okay, this is it. This is it. Whatever it takes, we're staying out here. And at this point, I had a great job, and it was like, you know, we're going to be here, and I'm going to have this job for 15, 20 years, yada, 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 until I got injured. But I knew that I did not want for her what I had to endure as a child, you know. And being poverty-stricken and having to struggle is hard enough. But when you can't make any friends and you constantly feel like an outcast, and you can't sit down roots, and you're always saying goodbye to people, that's no way to grow up, you know. And I'm sorry for those people who have to deal with it that way. I mean, it just sucks, because I've been there, you know. So I wanted something stable, as stable as possible for my daughter, you know, for my little family. And it's been a struggle. I mean, it took us years to set down roots and get networked in to where, after I had my injury and then I went to college for 2.5 years, and then I recovered and started doing handyman work. It took us years to get to that point to where my wife and I could both go out and earn a living. There's not a lot of work up here. There's just not. And more, it's becoming a vacation town. So there's even fewer places to live and work. But again, thanks to the vacation rental cleaning stuff, I've been able to leave the handyman stuff behind, and just clean toilets and make beds, and, you know, empty dishwashers and sweep floors, you know, and still, you know, working less, but still making enough to keep us where we need to be financially, right? And that's important, you know. And sure, we still struggle from month to month. We have to ask for help on occasion, but we do our taxes, we pay our bills, you know. And the most important thing is my daughter is happy and healthy and educated, and on her way to success. And, you know, and I owe it all to my wife and her ability to get along and to fit in and to become a productive part of society, like I've been unable to do, right? She fits in more here in this country than I do, right? She's, yeah. She is what it means to be a woman and a human, and an awesome person, you know, and I'm very thankful that she's my daughter's mother, not just my wife. You know. Yeah. Anyway, you're gonna stop. You're gonna make me cry. It's awesome. It's cool shit. You know, she's the bee's knees, and I got my daughter to prove it. You know. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, you know, I would have either perished long ago, or I would have been that kooky, crazy old weird bearded guy living up in a cave by myself, not doing this, right? Just all wrapped up in my own little day-to-day mundane crap. I mean, before I got married, I would literally get done with work, pick up some weed, pick up some fast food, pick up a video and a video game, and go home. And I would do that until I'd pass out, and then get up the next day and do it again. And that's what I did. And I did that for years. Whether I was alone or had a roommate, that's pretty much what I did. You know, if I had a roommate, on occasion I would go out. If I was alone, on occasion I would go out. When I got married, and we were dating, and before I got married, we went out a lot. You know, of course, it was that dating thing. And then afterward, we kind of settled into a rut. And then after we had our daughter, it didn't become so much a rut as just a comfortable place to ride. And you know, we rode that parent thing. That was our job, and that's still our job. But more and more, our daughter is showing us, hey, let's go out and live. Let's go out and do some stuff. Let's go out and have some fun. And this is the girl who spent the last 14 years of her life with her nose in the book, you know, 4.0 every year of her freaking academic career. And now she's saying, hey, you know, you got to live, you know, in her own way. She's kicking us out of the nest. And that's funny because she knows she's a permanent resident as long as she wants to be. So she doesn't have to worry about us kicking her out of the nest. But at the same time, she sees, you know, whether it's conscious or unconsciously, the need for us to get out and do stuff to remain young, right? Because I don't feel so old at my core. On the inside, I still feel like that high school kid, and you can probably see it in the things that I do, and hear it in the things that I say and how I say them, and the things around me. You know, I'm still living that high school kid. You know, I just happen to be a 55-year-old parent and husband. But I'm still that. You know, if there was anybody that you know who has never grown up, that's me. You know, sure, I can talk the talk and walk the walk and be that old stiff guy, but for the most part, I'm just you know, I mean, if you hear me fart around the house or at work, I mean, literally at work, if you hear me on one end of the house, it sounds like 3 or 4 people talking, and it's a hell of a conversation. It sounds like they're having a ball, but you come into the room and it's just Sybil standing there going, eh. Yeah, but you know, I have fun every day, first and foremost because of my wife and daughter. My wife is just freaking hilarious, and finds humor in so much. And then just the, you know, looking at my daughter just gives me joy like you would not believe. I got 4 dogs in the house that will remind you constantly that they are here. and that their job is to make sure that you are okay, right? That's their main job, because they know that my main job is to make sure they're okay, and they reciprocate. Sam, the guy in charge, he is the family caretaker. He takes care of all of us. He's just constantly bopping around all day long, checking on the dogs, making sure that they're okay, making sure that people are okay, spreading the love and the joy. Um, and then this room here, my set, my office, my studio. Um, People say, well, you need to live a Spartan life and only have the things around you that spark joy. Everything around here fucking sparks joy in me, I'm telling you. Even if I don't get to touch it every single time, I can pick it up and go, wow, this is really cool. It all, the entirety of it sparks such a huge amount of joy and excitement and creativity, which is why this room is here. This room is my muse, and if it were taken away, I would just probably find a new muse or recreate it in some fashion, recreate it anew. All right, this time I'm going to do it this way. For the most part, I think this is probably how I'm going to fit my tour, is going to be in this room with these things around me in this environment. We're getting up on time here, so of course my computer's starting to get a little glitchy. But that's cool. Hopefully it won't get too screwy. We're going up on an hour and a half here. It's almost 6:30. It is February 27th, 2024, and I'm going to do Bong Hit. Anybody keeping track? I'm going to say 3, but it might be 2. Right? I don't even know, but that's okay. Actually, this stuff is really, really good. It's got a great, it does have kind of a piney flavor to it. It is earthy and gassy. Yeah, they got this one right on it. Jet fuel and otter pops. Indica sativa. Yeah. I like how they rate their flour. They give you the effects on how it makes you feel, and it's not an overwhelming head buzz by any means. At least not for me. I mean, because like I said, I've been doing this since I was 15 years old, which would be about 40 years or so, right? Wow. Maybe that's what makes the passage of time for me such a trip, right? Call me Reverse Van Winkle, because I fell asleep and woke up 40 years ago. Most of what I think and feel and do is like straight out of the 1980s, just about everything about me harkens to the past, to the good old days for me. Your good old days might have been 10 or 15 years ago, or the 90s, or the 50s. That's awesome. My time period is the 70s and 80s, and that was the time when when I was becoming me, I guess, when we were becoming ourselves was when we were young. Some people become themselves late in life. They have such a closed off existence, that they don't get to experience a lot. And so their learning period is early in life, but their growing, their experiences happen later. This is probably going to be like for my daughter, because she devoted herself so wholly to her academic studies, that she gave up a lot of personal time, so she's going to be coming into her own now. I mean, this is it. This is when she's going to start. She's going to be doing a couple of more years of university. And then I would assume, if I had to guess, that she's going to take some time off. She's going to work somewhere for a while. After having some time to do nothing, I think then she's going to start some sort of work path, some sort of something. She's studying psychology, so she's going to get an Associate of Arts degree here, and then she's going to move on to a bachelor's, I believe is how it works. And I believe she's going to do that, and then from there, she has the opportunity to go work on her master's, and or start working somewhere, so we'll see. I mean, locally, within an hour or so of here, or within 30 minutes to an hour, or just up the road, I mean, anywhere she could find, with a degree in psychology, she can pretty much write her own ticket as far as any kind of employment, you get a degree somewhere and you could get a job in management. I mean, she could work her way into a management position at a freaking fast food joint if she was so inclined to start here, or she could be a counselor at high school, right? Or she could work in a psychiatrist's office as an assistant. I mean, there's so many, and I'm thinking small, right? And there's so many more opportunities, we not so humorously, but humorously tabled the thought of her becoming an animal psychologist, right? And that's not a far-fetched idea, really. I mean, since a little kid, I began to become and to hone my skills as a dog whisperer, so to speak, right? And she's kind of fallen into the same thing. I mean, we're around dogs all the time. I'm able to make friends, and even easier now, be able to go out and make friends with an animal that I don't know. I've got animals. I'll be walking somewhere, and there'll be a million people around, and there'll be a dog that is trying to break his leash to get to me. And whether it's because I have the smell of my dogs on me, or because that dog senses something about me and my dogs, or just me, it's a mystery. But I think I would like to think that it's because the dogs, we have some kind of kinship, right? And if you open yourself up emotionally and spiritually and mentally, and just kind of relax, and just be all accepting. I think dogs know that, and they will sense that about you. You know, some dogs have been fucked up in the head by humans, unfortunately, and they need a lot more help, and they can't see the way most other dogs see. And then there are some dogs who are kind of fucked up in the head, but they get it. You know, they can sense it that it's okay to allow me in. But then I've been up against some dogs where it's like, okay, you know, I'm afraid of this dog, you know, and I can't let this dog know it. And I don't like that. I don't like that feeling, because if I'm afraid of a dog, then there's something wrong with that human. All right, period. That's all there is to it. All right. And if there was something wrong with this dog, and you now have the dog, and now the dog is worse, there's something wrong with you, right? It's not the dog, it's you. There's nothing wrong with animals until human intervention, right? Dogs are dogs when they're with their dogs, right? And we allow our dogs to be dogs. I don't humanize my dogs. I don't force a bunch of rules and regulations on them. You know, don't shit and piss in the house. You know, that's it. And don't fight. You know, this is a loving house. You know, you don't shit and piss in the house, and you don't fight with each other. That's it. Other than that, Sam's in charge. You know, and he runs a pretty good house. You know, so I let my dogs be dogs, and we're all the happier because of it, and are the dogs. I mean, there are two of our dogs, Oliver and Tootsie, that they more than any other dogs I've seen in my entire life around dogs, and we've always had dogs, at least two dogs in the house, or at least one, you know, but there's always been multiple dogs in the house growing up. So I'm used to dogs, really. And these two play so much. There's a huge age difference between the two, you know. And you know, Tootsie, she's a Chiweenie, a full-bred Chiweenie. Okay, she's half Dachshund, half Chihuahua, right down the middle. So she's got huge ears and a weird-looking sausage body and a strange skip to her gait. Somebody. Hey, hi, Krim. Thanks for appreciating my live weirdness. I'm just talking about my dogs right now. But yeah, these dogs, at the drop of a hat, they will be out here running around playing. And you can't even count how many times a day they are just terrorizing the house, tearing the place up, chewing on each other. And I would like to think that it's because I allow my dogs to be dogs, you know. I don't force them into a box, let alone a cage. I don't cage dogs. I mean, people should be caged, not dogs. I hope my microphone isn't too weird. It tends to pick up every single noise I make. But yeah, back to what's going on this week. We're going out tonight to Pappy and Harriet to see Mitch Rowland, Harry Styles' guitar player, who is on a solo tour right now because the Love on Tour has got no more love. It all dried up. Harry Styles is just wrung out. But it should be a neat show because it only holds a couple of hundred people. Harris Harper, Ben Harper's daughter, is going to be there. My daughter said that she's pretty sure Mitch Rowland's girlfriend, Harry Styles' drummer, is going to be there as well. And she's fantastic. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up, man. I appreciate it. She's fantastic on the fucking skins. Um, every time I hear one of his songs, Harry Styles songs, it's that drum beat, that rhythm that she kicks in there. That's just, it's awesome. And then of course next week, we're taking my daughter, dropping her off at the in Anaheim to see Fall Out Boy, with her friend Charlie, who's coming out from Arizona. Going to stay out here for a few days, and then the following night. Oh, thanks for the other thumbs up there, guys. The following night, Tuesday night, my friend David and I are going out to Santa Ana to see Lucas Nelson and Promise of Real. This will be my second time seeing them. I saw them previously out here at Pappy and Harriet's. Fantastic show, outside yard. There was, it felt like there was like maybe 600 people max there, with the smell of barbecue and beer and a lot of marijuana. But I just can't. I haven't even listened to the new album yet. From Woohoo! I love Harry Styles too, man. I haven't even listened to Lucas Nelson's new album yet. Sticks and Stones, I believe is what it's called. I've got a bunch of new records stashed away that I'm just kind of, eagerly awaiting. So I'm kind of tabling the idea of splitting it open and listening to it. When I listen to new music, I prefer to listen to it on a vinyl first. I'm an old weirdo. So that's what I do. Even Harry Styles, we've got on vinyl. Do I know who Glaive is? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Glaive? This is by Enviced. Am I pronouncing these monikers correctly? Enviced, do you know who Glaive is? I do not. I do not know who Glaive is. Let me pick up my modern device here. And this is out of place here in the 1980s, but we'll go ahead and use it so I can find out who Glaive is. Songwriter and recorder, singer, 19, Ash Blue Gutierrez, known professionally as Glaive, American singer, songwriter. Huh. Very interesting. Thank you for the insight there. I will make a note of this and check out some of his stuff here on YouTube. My daughter does Spotify. I'm kind of an old school guy. I'm still getting used to YouTube and all of this other fancy modern technology stuff. As you can see, I prefer older technology. It's just the way I'm hardwired. I'm an analog guy in a digital world, and if you guys can subscribe, that'd be great. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers so that YouTube will let me go live. And if I can go live, then I can do some live stuff from some of these concerts that I'm going to. So hook me up. But anyway, I love the old and new technology. The sun is coming through my window here. So you're my 50th subscriber. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Krim. I made it, people. Wow, I'm gonna cry. I made it to 50, and now I can go live mobile via YouTube's requirements. That's freaking awesome. Thank you, people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh man. Pardon me. But yeah, I've got the mix of old and new technology here. I've got an Audio Technica turntable. That is awesome for you to say that I'm such a cool guy. That's a great compliment. I just kind of fancy myself as a crazy old weird bearded guy, but thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. Where are you at in Viced? Am I saying that correctly? In Viced? I'm in Joshua Tree, California, the USA. the weirdest country in the world, I would have to say. And then I've got a Sony, a new Sony not turntable, but receiver. And then some older stuff, realistic TR-3000 reel-to-reel. I used to have an LAB 395 realistic turntable, but I had trouble with it. Brunei, my eyes are... Brunei, am I saying that correctly? Brunei. Sorry, I didn't want to get so close to the mic there. It probably sounds like thunder. Brunei. Well, I'm going to use my modern technological device here and ask where Brunei is. Brunei. Ireland. That is awesome. Ireland. So it's got to be like, what, middle of the day over there? Geez, it's almost 7 a.m. over here. I knew when I worked in Mammoth Lakes, California, back in the mid to late 90s, I knew a couple of people who had come over from Ireland and a couple from Scotland who had come over to the mountain to work for the winter. Yeah, that they were really fun to go hang out with. We used to go to a place called La Sierras on Fridays and Saturday nights, where one of my best friends was the bartender. And we would just have a blast. Is that a banjo? A banjo? No, I've got a bass guitar over here that I borrowed from my friend David. I created some theme music for some video segments that I'm creating for YouTube. So if you look at some of my stuff, my videos and stuff, you'll learn a whole lot more about me. I've got a lot of these shows in a playlist, and then I've got some other little weird things and tidbits. But no, that's a bass guitar. I don't have a banjo. I'd love to have a banjo. My father had a banjo, but it got given to somebody else when he passed away. But no, I'm not a musician. I'm somebody who likes to noodle with musical instruments. Since I was, I think 15, back in the 80s, I've always kind of had a guitar ever since then. And I've never been one for actually being a great guitar player. I'm just kind of a guy who likes to fiddle around and strum. If you've ever seen the movie Animal House, and John Belushi is coming down the stairway and that guy is singing, I give my love a cherry that had no stone. I gave my love a chicken that had no bone. Yeah, and then he smashes the guitar on the staircase and hands him a piece of broken guitar. Yeah, I'm that guy in the stairwell. I'm not a great singer. I just like to have fun and write weird music and novelty stuff. I don't play stuff live because I get too nervous and mixed up, and then I just feel like a boob. So I try to record little videos on occasion of some of the stuff that I'm working on. I've probably got like a dozen songs that I've written between the middle 1980s, and then I didn't do anything with those. And then just recently, I've pulled everything out again and have started going through my old songs. I've started creating new music. Just the other day, I wrote a little 30-second theme song for a little video segment that I'm working on. It's edited. I've got the theme song now. I just need a little end credits music, and then that segment is ready to go. just started the other day on this theme song that started out as a 30-second idea and has become a 3+ minute song now. I got another viewer. Hey, hi. But this last one got my daughter's approval. I recorded part of it on my phone and gave it to her, and she listened to it. And of course, when I was listening to it, I start to get kind of emotional and tears kind of well up. And when that happens, I know that I've kind of hit that right point. I've gone in the right direction. And she looked at me with this huge smile and she said, "This is my favorite one yet." And my heart just exploded, right? So yeah, yesterday, the night before, has been me just beating this song to death. Do I know what BFDI is? It means big fucking deal, idiot. No, I don't know what BFDI means. BFDI. Battle for Dream Island. Oh, wow. I'll have to check that out. That looks interesting. Online show where various objects compete in challenges, reality show style, till there is one left to win the prize of the show. That sounds interesting. I'll have to check that out. My daughter and I will probably be into that. Wow. Thanks, people. But yeah, where was I? So I was working on this song, and I everything that I write and do and stuff is always kind of has this real hard 1970s, 80s slant to it. So even the music that I noodle around with, because I never learned anything more than the little bit that I knew back in the 80s, and then I put it aside, and then it just kind of popped up again. So everything that I know is only what I learned back then, and kind of what I'm learning now with all of this old music around me, and the few new things that my daughter has introduced me to. Back in 95-ish, I just gave up on music. I stopped listening to the radio. I didn't have a radio in the house. My guitar just kind of sat. And I just put my head down and went to work, like most of us do, right? And, it was like I just found nothing interesting in it. And then just recently, the last 5 or 6 years, my daughter's really started to allow me to see what kind of music she's into, right? Because teenagers are like, stay out of my life, but now she's like, "Dad, check this out. So now she has her own stereo that I created, realistic 1970s receiver, realistic 1980s speakers. She's got a 1979 Sanyo turntable, and she's got her own stack of vinyl. And we exchange records all the time. I'm constantly dragging her stuff out. She's got a lot of my Billy Joel in there right now. She's always got a bunch of, an eclectic collection of stuff. Wow, I'm really excited for people showing up today and allowing me a peek into their life. I'm going to see Breakins. Let's check out Breakins real quick from Krim. Another suggestion. And we'll see what we got here. Breakins. Singer-songwriter. 22-year-old. Randy Findell. All right. Columbus, Ohio. All right. I will have to check this out as well. Thank you, people, for the suggestions. I appreciate you coming by. I know Brunel. Let's see where Brunel is, because it looks like Krim is from Ireland and Brunel is where Enviced is from. So I want to make sure I get Brunel. Wow. Oh, Brunei. Okay. Brunei. There we go. It's a country in Asia. Oh, wow. What a beautiful place. Are you kidding me? No way. Brunei? Brunei? Um, are you back? Advised. Okay, if that's you, advised, yeah, you're from Brunei or Brunei. Am I? Thank you for liking my story. I tend to ramble. Advised. Looks like you got some great weather there right now. Yeah, let me know if I'm pronouncing your country correctly. Brunei. It's a country in Asia. Wow. Interesting. I don't travel much, so you guys are my window to the world here. I can live vicariously in other places through y'all. So tell me about Ireland. Tell me about Brunei. Brunei. Please let me know if I'm saying that correctly. I'm such a boob. Yeah. Anyway, I am a crazy old weird bearded guy, if you haven't noticed. I don't mean to offend anyone if I say something that's kind of weird or Brunei. Okay, Brunei, not Brunei. Okay. So it's Brunei, correct? Brunei. I'm going to stick with that unless you. Okay, great. Thank you. Brunei. All right. So yeah, you guys, woohoo, thank you. You guys are the way I kind of experience the rest of the world. I'm 55 years old. I'm done pretty much with heavy work and trying to go out there and beat myself to death to make a living. I'm semi-retired, partially disabled. I like to noodle with guitar. I like to play a lot of music here with old technology. I like to smoke marijuana. I don't do a lot of drinking. My daughter takes me out and reintroduces me to the world and to music, and then I use YouTube to kind of to balance that out, so that I can see what else is going on out there. I will put on, when I'm on YouTube, I'll put on a lot of those live feeds where it's just a camera panning back and forth on a beach or a city or someplace. So I've probably been to Ireland and possibly even Brunei. But I really don't get to do a whole lot of traveling. I've got a really nice van conversion that I would love to take out and drive around the country, but it needs a little bit of work, and doing that traveling stuff is expensive. Of course, I can go mobile now and be live and do my show from wherever I'm at, which is pretty cool. So thank you for the extra help on the subscribers, people. It means a lot to me. But I tend to go and just kind of let the show happen organically. I don't script anything. I don't. I may choose a topic that I want to talk about. I think the topic that I was talking about yesterday And last week, that is pretty heavy, is a film from 1974 entitled Cipher in the Snow. And it is a Brigham Young University school film, a movie that I saw in the 4th grade. If you go back a couple of episodes, I think Monday and yesterday, I put a link to those, a link to that particular movie on YouTube. So if you go back, you can find a link in yesterday or the day before, and maybe even Thursday, my last week's episode. I do this weird show 4 days a week at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And basically I grab my coffee and turn the camera on and come in here and start rambling. So my topics take me in all kinds of directions. I was born in 1968, and my father, hey, thank you so much for the love, people. You're going to sleep now. Oh, it's that late over there. Well, you all have a great night. You guys are awesome. Thanks for stopping by. I do this a lot. And there's nobody around. It's just me and a dog, maybe. So thanks a lot. Oh yeah, it's my niece's birthday, Leah. She's up in Oregon. So happy birthday, Leah. She won't see this because this isn't for kids. Yeah, and neither will my brother because he's probably working already or taking a kid to school or something. He's up in the mountains, so he don't get take care of advice. I appreciate you stopping by. I'll see you again. My brother's up in Oregon, so he doesn't get great reception. So he'd be lucky to watch a reel. But yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, I could talk about anything sitting here. I don't like to play the guitar live because I'm not a musician. And the stuff that I do, if there's the hint of somebody watching, I get all nervous and discombobulated. So yeah, it looks like I've got a couple of more viewers this morning. Thanks for stopping by. Let me know who you are and where you're from. I'd really like to know. I travel vicariously through you. So wherever you're at, and whoever you are, good morning. Yeah, I mean, I collect a lot of weird stuff. So even coffee cups. I collect coffee cups. I got a cabinet full of stupid coffee cups. Shirts, t-shirts. My big thing is novelty t-shirts. My thing is that you can ask me about anything about me or anything in the room, and I'm more than happy to share it with you. It's been a really, really active morning here. I've had upwards of 4 viewers, and mostly in the last hour, which is pretty awesome. I've had Krim from Ireland. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. And then Brunei is where Invice is from, and Invice just went to sleep because it's nighttime over there, or at least bedtime. So yeah, crazy old weird bearded guy. It is February 27th, 2024, 7 in the a.m. I've been here since 5. I've been up since 4:20. Woohoo! Yeah, the main thing about me is I'm pretty much an open book. You ask me whatever you want to ask me, and I'll usually give you an honest answer, if not a cynical, sarcastic answer. But wow, what a show. I've got a lot to learn. My viewers, which is kind of a weird thing to say, have taken me to Ireland and to Brunei and have introduced me to a host of new musicians and artists and stuff. They've given me The people stopping in today have given me likes and hearts and have become new subscribers. So now I'm able to go live, and I'm hoping that I can share with you this evening some of my live fun. And I think what I'm going to do is wear my corduroy jacket with the pocket, or no, my denim jacket, because the corduroy, the phone slips all the way down. So if I wear my denim jacket, I might be able to stick my phone and just kind of take you with me. Regardless, I'll definitely be popping in this evening to see what the reception is like up there for my phone, and whether I'll be able to even bring you any live stuff. So much, everybody, for stopping in and helping me out today. I'm literally just blown away. I'm anxious to learn more about the people and the places, the people that come by and the places they're from. That's my whole reason for being here. That little interaction that I had this morning with Krim from Ireland and Inviced from Brunei. That's what it's all about. Pardon me. That's for me. That, I'm just an old guy who wants to say hi to the world, right? That's it. And I hope to do it in an entertaining fashion. All right. And Vice told me that I told an interesting story. I don't know what I was talking about, because I just blah, 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 blah. Right. You put a little coffee and weed in me, and I'm just a rattletrap. So, thank you for the wonderful comments. Thank you for the engaging conversation. Thank you so much for stopping by, especially. And, and for most definitely, thank you for subscribing. I have 50 subscribers now. I don't know how to say thank you enough. Who was my 50th subscriber? Krim in Ireland was my 50th subscriber. So that's awesome, Krim. Thank you so much. God, I feel like I want to do something to show the love, right? So yeah, I think what I can do to show the love is to go ahead with my original plan and try real hard to bring you live to some of these locations that I frequently go to. I go to open mic nights at various venues throughout the area. I keep looking over at my comments here that the whole comment line there is full, and somebody put crazy old weird bearded guy with a heart next to it, right? And that wow, that makes me feel so so good, but so vindicated. Like, hey, I'm actually reaching people who get it. They get it. Wow. You don't have to necessarily get me, but you get the idea that it's okay to have people out there like me, and yeah, I get really excited about the idea that there's people on the other side of the planet that are going, hey, check that dude out. He's weird, man. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that weird guy. Look at him. Look at him. Oh my God, he's so weird. I just love it. I've got a couple of guys that I know of in Canada who stop in once in a while, and thanks to you, I can now say that I know somebody in Brunei. I know somebody in Ireland. That's pretty awesome. That deserves a Bong hit. That's what that's just right there. And I don't, like I said, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I am who I am, and it's okay to be different. You know, I don't dislike people who don't smoke pot. You know, I don't dislike people who drink excessively or whatever. You know, it's like, you be you, man. You be the you that you want to be, provided that you allow me the same courtesy. Just let me be me, man. You know, and that's what, you know, the great part about being here is that I can just be me. You know, I don't have to put on airs. I don't have to pretend to be some, you know, some professional dude that's, you know, trying to get, you know, 1 million likes and subscribes so that he can turn this into a business. You know, this is just me sitting here talking about my life, trying to entertain, educate, inform, you know, in my own weird, wonderful way, you know. And the great part about this is there's 1 million other channels to watch if this is not your thing, you know. And that's cool too, because I watch those things too. I mean, I watch the Y-Files. I watch the History Guy. You know, I watch those guys who travel places and check stuff out. You know, there's a bunch of those guys in and around Southern California who do just that, and they come out and go to stuff that's in my area. And I'm constantly seeing a guy from San Diego who constantly is doing stuff from my area and his area and all over Southern California. You know, that's neat. I'll probably do some of that out here because it's local, and I'll want to do like a commercial, you know, about our area. You know, what do they call that? Oh man, we used to get those travel commercials. You know, visit Boston. You know, the home of democracy or whatever. You know. You get those travel, what the fuck were they called? Fuck it. I'll just do the Bong Hit. Well, I'm still on cloud nine, people. It makes me want to put together another video. That's how I can say thank you, is by smoke swirls, is by creating another music video. Maybe this latest song. I did a recording of it last night on my phone, and it was pretty good. It was a blank screen because I had the camera facing away from me. But by the end of the evening, that was one that I did early in the day, right? I did a recording in the middle of the day while my daughter was at school. And by the end of last night, I was wailing it out and doing it like so perfect. I was getting it so perfect by that towards the end, I was starting to flounder and lose my place. So I was like, all right, set it aside, push it away, leave it alone. But it's like 8 verses / chorus because it's a novelty song. So the verses and the chorus are kind of the same throughout the whole thing. But yeah, it's something that I've never tried to do before. It's real different than anything I've ever thought about doing. It's a lot of fun. It was so much fun to write that I have to I have to cut myself off. Pardon me. Or I will just continue to write lyric, and then like one song that I did, I've got 3 pages of lyrics. And as much as I hate to admit it, it's going to have to be chopped up into 2 songs. My brother's right. he said, "Man, that sounds like two songs, man." I said, "No, man, it's not. It's one song, man. It's just got different parts, man. And it's like an opera, man." And it's like, no, it does. It needs to be whittled down, or it's not like I'm trying to sell it for the airwaves or anything. So I don't have to whittle it down too much. It can still be like a 6-minute song, 8-minute song, and just kind of go wherever it goes. But lately, what I've begun to write have been more like stories, um, and yeah, um, this last one is no different. It's not like Johnny went to the store and bought an apple, brought it home, made an apple pie, and gave it to his wife, right? It's not a story, but it has the elements of a story, or the elements of pretty much my time traveling, you know. Um, and I love words, so and I love to noodle with the guitar. Um, so it's just a happy merging of my the limited creative skills that I have. Ah, wow. All right. Somebody out there loves Harry Styles. That's so cool. Crim. uh, Crim in Ireland uh, loves Harry Styles too. Well, that's awesome. I'm a big Harry Styles fan. I'm 55 years old, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I love Harry Styles, and the 1975 and Paramore. Um, I like a lot of stuff from a lot of the stuff my daughter listens to. You know, it's okay to let her control the stereo when we're going somewhere, because I know we're going to get a pretty good mix of everything that we all like. You know, um, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. Gosh, I'm so pumped up this morning. You know, I got really pumped up yesterday. I was able to go out and fix my van. Um, but I don't know what I'm going to get pumped up to do today. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just record this song today and try to get a good solid video recording of it, so that I can use that to create a video, an actual music video. And most of the videos that I do musically are just me sitting there with some visual effects, right? No cutting away, no editing, no splicing. Um, so uh, maybe I'll do that, but maybe I will edit in some other media, um, maybe some video, um, some altered photographs, um, merge some photographs and some video together. I'd like to take pieces of parts of movies and throw them in to the video, because the song is about the movies and going to the movies. So uh, that's going to be a strong element in the video. Of course, there are no theaters around here to go to, which is a bummer. We have one theater in town, and it's shut down for years since COVID. Ugh, I hate saying that word. Um, there's a drive-in out here. They've been closed for a while because of technical malfunctions. Uh, Go figure, right? Um, so, um, yeah, where am I going to find good, uh, good video that I can actually shoot? Unless the drive-in opens up, or there's somebody there that will allow me to park my van there and take some video and some photographs. I don't see how I could come up with any meaningful footage, right? Now, for a lot of other ideas, like there's so much stuff out here, so you can get production value out of just about anything out here. But when you get specific, like theaters, the movies, there ain't shit out here. I can drive to Palm Springs, and there's a handful of old theaters. But do I want to go to that length and that expense? Probably not. I think I'd probably be better off cobbling together photographs and video from the internet, like I do with most of my shit. I think the internet is probably the greatest source, the greatest piece of production value there is for the novice or the amateur, the amateur filmmaker, because I'm as amateur as they come. My father did video work back in the late 70s, early 80s when he was at the University of California, San Diego. But since then, I haven't done any real video other than camcorder stuff in the 80s and 90s, and then home videos and photographs and stuff of late because of the new modern technology. It's real easy to just shake your phone and start recording a video. And that's pretty heavy shit right there. That's a heavy. I'm still going back to my comments here, and Vice told me that I had a great live stream. Krim said, "Thank you for being live." And Vice said, "You're such a cool guy." Right? And Vice said, "That's an interesting story." And then they recommended a lot of different artists that I check out. And that means so much to me that they would take the time to say, "Hey," and give me a polite comment and response, and actually be engaging, because most people don't want to take their time to say hi to a stranger, right? And that's not this. I mean, this is exactly saying hi to a stranger and letting me into your life and you right into my life. I mean, because look, here I am. I ain't going anywhere. This is me. This is who I am. I'm not going to hide who I am. I'm not going to put on airs and pretend to be some guy so that the YouTube community will, accept me. Because you either take it or leave it. I've been that bullied little kid my whole life, and I just don't do that anymore. You can't bully me anymore because I don't respond to that. If you make a bullying comment in my comments, I'm just going to delete it, because it's not nice. I'm not going to attach any emotion to it, because I don't need to. I don't need to invest any emotion into negativity, right? Everything that I saw in my comments this morning was so positive. I'm going to be walking on clouds for weeks, and the fact that they gave me a 50 subscriber count, I can do so much more now. I can walk around town here and show you what's going on. That's going to be cool, because there's always something going on Friday or Saturday or Sunday at any given moment. There's something going on. There's some kind of live action, live music, live entertainment, live festivities, the markets. It's just a great, fun place. And if I can be your window into my area, I'm more than obliged. You know. Did you hear my stomach? Could you get that? That grumble sounded like thunder. I had a cereal bar, and this is coffee. But I usually don't eat too early. It's only coming up on 7:30 in the a.m. here. The thing about not eating early is I do get up early. I got up at 4:20, which means I've been up for 3 hours. So I don't have a whole lot in my system right now as far as nourishment. But yeah, that's okay, because after this I will eat and and get on with my day, and then I will have my nourishment. And wow, I'm still just Ireland and Brunei. That is fucking, sorry for my potty mouth. It's sorry for my potty mouth. Yeah, I mean, what a way to kick off an awesome day, an awesome night. You know, my daughter and my wife and myself and two of our friends, Kristen and David, we're all going to the show tonight. And it's just going to be a blast. Yeah, it's just going to be a freaking blast, man. Total blast. Yeah, wow. So, video ideas. It's a video, it's a song about going out to the movies, right? Theaters, drive-ins, and, or staying home and watching a movie, right? It's pretty much about movies. So, I have to have some kind of video concept besides just me sitting in the room recording the song, because that's usually how I do it. I'll have my music and my guitar, and I'll be plugged in and hooked in, and I'll sing my stuff, and then I'll just take this video that I record of me doing it and throw some special effects at it, right? So now if I enhance it with some photographs and videos and stuff, where do I go from there? Do I add more video of me lip singing my recorded version? Do I go to Palm Springs and talk somebody into letting me spend 5 minutes in the theater, walking up and sitting down and singing, right? And then edit some of that in? Do I go to a couple of theaters and stand outside at the ticket booth and get some video of that? I don't know. I mean, in a perfect world, that would be ideal, right? But and all things being equal, I don't think that I'm going to get to travel down 40 minutes from here, 45 minutes to shoot an hour footage and then turn around and I'm talking an hour footage with me being down there a couple of hours, finding locations, shooting, trying to shoot, getting just photographs. I mean, I don't know, whatnot, you know. I could try to go to the drive-in here and get some shots. I guess that would be the easiest thing. Or do I just want to find some static shots, photographs from within a theater looking down at the screen, and then throw up my own images into the screen, right? And then just maybe change venues as I change the different movies that are playing. Do I want to do that and then roll some kind of, let's go to the snack bar thing happening, the preview thing flashing up, the little counter, the different logos from the different studios. I don't know. I mean, I'm still kind of fleshing it out. How do I turn this really cool song into a really cool video? Or at the very least, just get this song out there, because I want the song to be done first and foremost. But yeah, the video has to be. Video's got to be a good one for this one. Wow, a lot of action this morning here, people. A lot of action on this live show. Some live action. Live action, people. Yeah. Live stuff. These comments. I got lots of stuff to learn now. Well, I'm glad that I don't have to worry about learning how to speak Irish, because unless they're speaking a Celtic dialect or something, right? Then they're going to be speaking English, just a different brand of English, right? And then I did know those girls in Mammoth, California, Mammoth Mountain on the ski resort. And those girls, the Scottish girls, I believe, they knew a Celtic dialect thing. I can't remember what they called it. Some kind of unusual. They were sisters, and they were constantly, they'd get drunk and they'd speak it back and forth to each other and make us just feel like oddballs. But it was hilarious. But yeah, Malay is the language in Brunei. So we're going to have to see what that's all about. I probably know more about Ireland, which is very little, than I do about Brunei. So let's see what more we can learn about Brunei as a country in Asia. And if we look at the map, let's open this in maps so we can get a better idea. Oh, those dogs. Get a better idea of where we are in the world. And we are in Asia. We are on an island. Borneo? Oh, wow. Oh, I'd love to go here. This looks like a... Sorry, I've got noises happening out here. Let me go see if I've got dogs that are having issues, and I will be back, okay? In fact, I will give you silence. Okay. All right, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Let's see. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to take a picture of my comments to show my daughter because they're such great comments. Oh. There we go. Hey, Margaret, this guy looks like a freaking tourist on his own show. Harry, leave him alone. Wow. Walking on sunshine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Walking on sunshine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't it feel good? Hey. All right now. Don't it feel good? Hey. Well, I'm back. It is a beautiful day out there right now. It's going to be an awesome day. Yesterday was kind of cloudy and windy and cold, and of course I had to work on my van. It only took about 15 minutes. I mean, it was just a pulley. Once you figure it out, and I didn't change the belt because it didn't need it. It looked really good. Took it for a drive, and the squeal was gone. It was right back to doing the normal crap that it does, stuttering and stalling and jerking and hesitating. And I don't know if it's a fuel thing or a transmission thing. I wish there was a local mechanic like we used to have that I could trust to diagnose things and fix things for a decent price. But as it is, it's going to cost me thousands of dollars to get this to where I can take it on the road somewhere, right? And that sucks because my plan was to take it on the road somewhere. You know, I got a summer coming up where my daughter's not going to be in school and she's going to be off to university after that. Things are going to get all crazy, right? And I was really hoping that along with being able to use this summer to take the van and go places, that we could use the van to go to her school about an hour drive from here to the satellite campus that she's going to actually go to for her whole degree. I was hoping we'd use the van for that, if not every day, at least on occasion, because I'm going to probably be her designated driver if she's not going to be driving. And she just hasn't been interested in getting a license. It's just not important enough right now, right? And I can dig it. And I like to go out and do stuff now. And if I can, you know, on occasion do a live feed from her campus somewhere and just sit and hang out, I'm sure that at some point I'll feel more comfortable sitting here and doing some live stuff. As soon as I had interactions with my guests this morning, and even thought about playing the instruments and singing, I got all nervous inside. And, you know, I don't know, showmanship, fear, lack of talent. I don't know what the cause is, you know. Showmanship by, you know, meaning I want to do a good performance. I don't want to give you crap. Some of my music that I've given hasn't been all that great, and I want to change that. The stuff that I sit here and do by myself is much better than some of the stuff that I recorded, and I want to change that. Not swap out the videos, but give you a before and after. You know, this is what it sounded like then, and this is what it sounds like now, because I'm constantly growing and changing. Here comes the trash man. Whoa, he the trash man. Yeah. Is he going to pass by this morning? We don't know. Now, if you can hear my heater and my coffee and my microwave, then I'm pretty certain you can hear this truck going by. Oh yeah, my monitor said that you guys heard it. Rumble, rumble, man. They keep taking this truck up through the park, right around this corner of this big tree out here. And it's like they're constantly breaking branches, which is cool because it's a trash truck and it's not going to hurt the trash truck. And we get a lot of visits from the fire department, paramedics, and ambulances and stuff because of the either the elderly population, the infirmed, or you know, stupid people, stupid accidents. No, that's judgmental. Uh, but you know, they require it by law that you allow them the ability to pass through without gouging up their truck. So we're required to keep them trimmed. But these guys take care of it for us because they just come through, and if they break it off, well, it ain't going to hit the fire truck. And they come here through here twice a week. So there you go. There's that. I think I deserve another bong hit this morning for my luck this morning finding live viewers from around the world, and that they had such nice, positive, uplifting things to say. I'm going to be literally dancing on clouds forever because of this. And I got more subscribers. I reached my subscriber count that I wanted to get to, right? I mean, that's just, wow. Wow. Yeah. So I think, well, let's see, I might get a message at some point and get to go out and do something. I do need to return this guitar, this bass. I don't think I'm going to be doing any serious recording other than just me on the guitar. That 30 seconds that I did with the bass and the drums and the guitar and the vocals, that really took a lot out of me. Physically, mentally, technically, it was a nightmare. And I had to use a VCR to record and listen to stuff on the computer because I couldn't do the same. I could do two things at once on my limited computer. So it was just a mind bender to try to get 4 different recordings lined up in my editing program, because it's a video editing program. So, and I can edit sound, you know, that's easy. I can just lay different soundtracks next to each other and line them up. And then as long as I've played in time, then it works. You know, of course, I was doing my bass and listening to on the computer and recording it onto the VCR, and the computer froze for a second, glitched threw off my timing. So toward the end of the bass riff, my timing was off. So I literally had to chop up my bass riff and delete a section where the computer froze on playback. It was the actual song itself that I was listening to. There's nothing wrong with it. It just froze, which threw off my timing when I was recording the bass. So I had to edit that, splice that. And I was able to manage that to the best of my ability. But the four tracks edited together, I think, came out relatively well. But I don't want to go through that nightmare again without having some kind of program and mixing ability, where I can actually be listening to what I'm recording next to at the same time and do it together. And if you have one program, you should be able to do that, right? My friend David has that kind of program. So at this point, I think I'm just looking to get an upgraded computer, get that audio program, and then a physical mixer that'll handle video and audio, right? I think if I can get to that point, my show will go to the next level, and keep your fingers crossed that I can do this by season 3, so that we take another step, and it's not just a different camera angle and different conversation and different things going on, but it actually evolves and grows. That this is a slow burn, and I want it to evolve. I want it to be a snowball. I don't want it to just roll around and then melt. I want it to actually gain momentum and do something. And for me, 50 subscribers is nothing to sneeze at, right? That is like, right now, it's like the height of heights, right? And it's pretty bitchin'. It's pretty bitchin'. I mean, Canada, Ireland, Brunei, these are places that I actually would go to, if I were a traveler. I'm just not. I'm just kind of physically and financially unable to do these things anymore. I.e. the van, which is why the van was such an important idea. It's still, fun to have the van, and the idea of installing one of my automotive 8-track players into it, and then being able to pull an 8-track out and pop it in. Here's the Cars, Candio. And there's a host of other things on 8-track. I've got upwards of 1,000 8-tracks in my home for my listening pleasure, and a lot of them in cases that I could just take out to the van, chuck them in the 8-track, go park on a hilltop somewhere, and so to that extent, the van is still serving a purpose. We were able to go out, a friend of mine and I were able to go out to camp about a year ago, and just overnighter up at Sawtooth Canyon, which was pretty cool. I needed that, and I may do it again and just go alone, unless it's in the summer, and somebody else in the family has time. Then I'll probably go with someone else. I'm an oddball camper. I don't want to go out to camp someplace and then hike every square mile of the area or the facility or the forest. I'm not that guy, not by a long shot. I will go on a hike. I will get wet. I will go on an adventure. I will do stuff, but that's not my main thing for being out there. My main thing for being out there is finding a beautiful place to set up a camp, give you some of those creature comforts, and just relax, enjoy the scenery, breathe the fresh air, look up at the blue sky through the trees or the mountains, you know. And then, yes, have adventures with the dogs and the family and friends and do things. But that's never my main. It's like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to water ski the whole time I'm out there. You know, I'm going to be on that mountain biking every second. That's not, you know, I'm not going to hike the entire time I'm there. I don't want to get dropped off and then hike three miles back, and then from there set up a base camp and then hike every square mile that's out there before coming back. No way. You know, that sounds like work to me. You know, I mean, geez, give me a bag and a poker and I'll pick up trash while I'm out there. You know, it just sounds like a job. You know, I would rather, you know, drop me off someplace where I can just set up a camp and then say, you know what, hey, let's go walk that way. You know, you got a map? Oh, fuck it. Let's just mark a little trail and go that way and see what's out there. You know, like we did when we were kids. You know, yeah, totally. So, music video. Yeah, that's going to be fun. I keep having the idea or the thought that I might do one of my songs here live, but you know, this isn't the venue. This is what I'm doing here. This is the venue for this. You know, and then if somebody stops by, I've got the wherewithal to notice, and then have some interaction, because you could call it a blog. You know. People and places and stuff, but that's not really. I would hope that you would think of this as engaging entertainment, education, and informative. That's it. You know, let's learn about each other. You're going to learn more about me because you have the opportunity to go back and look at all of the stuff that I've done. But you know, it's on you to get, you know, send me the information about you. I want to get to know you. Who are you? Where are you at? What's going on, man? Hook me up with some info, the download. Give me some data, man. I need some data. So even in the playback, if you want to leave a comment in the playback, please do. If you want to send me a message or something, do it, and then I'll know how to get a message. And then maybe I'll know how to send a message to subscribers. I'm hoping that I have the ability to see my new subscribers, because I haven't in the past. Out of the subscribers, the 48 previously, I was only able to see 9 of those subscribers. Everybody else is incognito, and I don't know who you are. It's either because of the region you're from, or because you're not signed up with YouTube, or for whatever reason. I'm not able to see who most of you are, you know, and that's okay. You know, if you want to remain in the shadows, a fly on the wall, that's part of the appeal to this format, is that you could just stop in and just hang out and be a fly on the wall and just watch, you know, and not have to be engaging, you know. That's cool. That's checking the microphone. And because that's what I used to do. That's, you know, that's what I still do, is I just pop into places, check it out for a little bit, and then maybe give a thumbs up or subscribe and then move on. And I don't subscribe to a lot of places. If I can find you on YouTube, then I can subscribe to you. But I don't want to. And it won't let me do anything other than give me options about where to put you, report you, add you. It doesn't give me the option to find you on YouTube here. So I guess I can't subscribe to you. So I will try to later get on here and find y'all that have stopped in this morning and find you and subscribe to you, because that's part of the appeal of this, is that I'm making a connection with people from around the world, and so Guerrilla Gold Hunters in Canada, Mike in the Garage in Canada. I'm excited to find out if you guys have actual YouTube channels, or if you're just viewers, like I've been most of my YouTube experience. We're going on 3 hours here, people. I'm just going to play it by ear, I guess. Let's go until the wife wakes up. Even though I don't think we've got anything really taxing going on today. Taxes, I think Thursday is tax day. So gotta go put my tax information together for the tax lady. I did it when I was younger, and would sit and do all the forms and that. And then I used to do it on the computer, and I just got, I want somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing to deal with it. I'm not really a computer guy. And the lady that we know is really helpful and knows a lot about our kind of types of situation. So that's cool. It's comforting to know that somebody's dealing with it who's going to do the best they can for us and not for whoever's getting the tax money, right? And we're going to have to pay taxes. It's just the way it is. Our daughter has grown up, and we're back on the books as actual people again, not parents. So we have to pay. Even though she's a dependent, she stays at home. She goes to school from home. She doesn't work. Full-time student. So these things, I guess, are a benefit, a help, but we're still going to pay taxes. It's just, there's no getting around it. We work for ourselves, so we got to keep track of all the crap and go through all the rigmarole and all the right forms and crap and get amounts from people about shit that we've done. So it's kind of a drag. So having to do all that end of it, I don't want to take it any further. Let somebody else deal with it from there. Here's our information, deal with it. And then, my daughter has got, of course, financial aid situation through school. So she's got questions and issues that she needs to deal with. So I try to involve my daughter, whether it's going to the county or going, to the tax office, or any important professional type bureaucratic crap that I've had to deal with. I try to involve her as much now as possible, so that she gets used to it and has some chops, dealing with that kind of stuff. Because it's kind of, I had to deal with that shit on my own. I had parents, but I was on my own at the age of 15, and then off and on, I would kind of come home and hang out with my old man when my mother was out of the picture, right when they were separated. So I want to kind of help her out as much as possible before she's got to go out into the world. And she chose to go to college before the university, even though she was accepted at the university. She kind of wanted to come into it slowly. She didn't want to just jump right into it, and I commend her on that, because she could have just gone off to university and taken advantage of that situation. But now she can start from here rather than here, and she can learn more about what it's going to be like to be here before she gets there. And she's going to be there next year in the fall. She'll be going to university, and she'll have all of that, this last 2 years experience at college to help her. And when we went to the campus to kind of check it out on the that night where they bring everybody in for 4 hours and give them snacks and show them around the campus and talk about the different stuff. We were like, yeah, this is cool. This is going to be great. And from high school to there was a big difference. From the college to there is not such a great jump, and that's what's going to be great for her, is that it's not a stretch. She's not taking this at huge strides. She's not just taking, I'm going to go take and chew this off and now, attack it from a greater distance. No, she's taking these smaller steps up the ladder. And I think it'll pay off for her in the long run. She's got a lot of patience. She doesn't feel like it or think she does, but she does. She's got a lot of patience, because she's put so much time and energy into this, and she just keeps going and going and going. And she does a lot of things that she doesn't want to do, but she does them because it's required of her, and she does it. She complains very little. I don't want to do this right now. She procrastinates like me, but then she does it. She gets it out of the way. I think very rarely has she left an assignment undone, and it's usually been a time thing. When she's got so much on her plate, she won't procrastinate as much. When she knows she's only got a few things and it's going to take her, X amount of time, she'll just procrastinate until she gets to that X amount of time, and then she'll just knock it out. And I do the same. I do the same thing with just about everything in my life. So have I taught her that, or did she just inherit that? I don't know. Is that one of those genetic memory things? I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know. Wow. I got likes on my videos. I got subscribers. I got comments. I got hearts. I mean, what a great morning. What a great show. I can't wait to talk about this on Facebook, of course, because that's the only social media platform I have right now. And if you're getting, of course, if you're watching this, you got to pay attention to the comments as you're listening to me, because that's kind of how I engage. I'm not going to type my comments and then speak my comments at the same time. No, you got to kind of pay attention, I guess, but yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, one of my check-ins now is going to be in Brunei, and another in Ireland. Well, I wish I had the wherewithal to be more engaging, more than I would, usually be, and find out exactly where, and hopefully they'll stop by again, and we can learn more about each other. Where in Brunei, what province, state, or neighborhood, or city. Same thing in Ireland, because that's cool, to be able to say hi to somebody from another part of the world, right? And to be accepted. That's so cool. That is so cool. Gosh, I'm loving it. Surprise. Another celebratory bong hit there. There we go. That's awesome. Cool stuff, dude. So, yeah, music. I think I'm going to work on some music today, as well as do some studying about my guests. Well, let's see. I've got a commenter. Oh, somebody didn't like my comment on a video. So this is reels. And I was watching this reel about this girl coming down an escalator, and like 5 or 6 guys surround her, and she gets really nervous and clutches her bag, right? And then they all pass her roses, and she just, of course, she's exuberant over it. So my comment was, I think she peed a little bit, right? And then a laughing face. Of course, I got some likes and funny laughing faces about it. But somebody commented, not funny. So what should be my comment? Yeah. Especially, comma, if like me, comma, it's happened to you. And then some happy laughing faces. How's that? Because I try to keep it humorous, but there's a lot of people out there that just don't have a sense of humor, at least not a traditional sense of humor, right? They're more woke and PC and cancel, and it's just, you have to recognize the fact that I don't like that. It's okay. Don't don't enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then don't, expect that it's for you. Let's see what. And then, of course, sometimes they just get really mean spirited back and forth, and then want to throw up all kinds of, anti-hate, which is a dichotomy, but they do it anyway. It's like, I hate haters, and this is how I hate them, and I'm gonna hate them. And it's like, give me a break. I get it. You don't get it. So, give me your sourpuss face and move along. I don't give up that easily. If somebody doesn't like it and they're going to poke me, well, I'm going to poke them back, but I'm also going to let them know, hey, you don't have to like it. Move on, and of course, if they persist and they're just mean-spirited and hateful, then I just delete their comments and then block them so I don't ever have to run into them again. It's a big world. Social media platforms are populated by millions of people. And there's a pretty good chance I won't run into these people again, or even in person. But I can fix that and just delete them and block them. And then, I don't have to tie any emotion to that. So yeah, there's that. Um, what am I gonna do? I mean, usually I've got a lot to just ramble on about, but having such a great interaction this morning with people on the other side of the world is really uplifting and mind scrambling, right? It's like, okay, that's really, really, it was like, what can I learn about more of these places? Now I want to go back and I want to learn more about Canada, uh, and I want to learn more about Brunei and Ireland, and more about the people who stop by. You know, that's so cool. Um, because if I can ask for anything, it would be to have more. Well, maybe a set of new teeth and a working van. But other than that, I mean, to have this interaction, um, you know, gosh, more of this would be great. You know, uh, hopefully, I will get some kind of more positivity out of this, and maybe someone who stops by will help me increase my subscriber base a little bit, because now I can go from 50 to 100, and that's my next goal. Now, my next goal for 100, I'm actually going to try to do some kind of event where I can give some things away. And I'm not talking about I'm going to sell you something. It's a straight up giveaway. If I can mail it to you, I'm going to do that. I've never mailed anything internationally, right? I don't know how to do it. Um, if if I mail something to you, um, the postage is going to be included in whatever I mail to you. So the further away you get, while it may be more costly for me, the gift that I send may be smaller. You know, um, size constraints, and financial reasons and stuff. But I do want to spread the love. And like I said before, I got a lot of weird, crazy, old vintage stuff that I would love to share with y'all. Whether it be a cool old T-shirt or hat, or a coffee mug, or a vinyl record, or an 8-track tape. I mean, there's the it's limited, it's limitless what I could come up with to send as a thank you for being um, of the 100 subscribers, and for stopping in during the live event and taking place in some kind of Q&A and drawing. Because I mean, the best thing to do would be to get my subscribers to send me a message saying they want to be in the drawing, and then get them in the drawing by a specific time period, and then putting all of those names into a hat and picking somebody to receive a thank you gift, right? And and then I would want to get with the individual personally in a message and find out what they're like, and what their likes are, and what kind of thing that I have around here that would kind of fit them as a thank you gift. I don't want to send them something random. Sure, but if I can make some stickers of my face, and or some crazy old weird bearded guy coffee mugs or something, that would be neat. But I would want to first and foremost give them something that says something about them, as well as myself and the connection that we have together. You know, if I could send you a duplicate of a coffee cup here, that I could use, or a same T-shirt or a hat or something, so that we would have that connection. You know, that would be neat. You know, I know I'm a weird, old, crazy bearded guy, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, folks, I'm gonna call it quits for the morning. I'm gonna get on with my day, and hopefully you guys will all have a very, very good day. Mine's off to a great start with my new subscribers and viewers and comments and my positivity this morning. And the beautiful weather outside. It's a little bit hazy and cloudy, but it's bright, sunny, and warm. So I'm going to get started working on my latest song. And I say this as someone who is not a musician and not a singer, but man, this is fun, and this is getting really good. This is getting really good. The one I got now, I think I want to send it to Dr. Demento. I really do, because it gives me that feeling when I'm playing it, and when I listen to it, it gives me that old Dr. D from the '80s feel, which is where I'm at, baby. All right, y'all, take care. I'm going to throw up the shutter, and we're going to say goodbye for today. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. You weirdos, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow morning for Old Time Radio Day, and maybe even learn a little German. How's that? Okay. Goodbye, weirdos. See ya later. Honey, mira, before I turn my live feed off here, the sound is off and you can't see you in the camera, but come here and look at my commenting. I had 2 visitors this morning here. No, actually 4, but 2 of them, actually, I had a conversations with 2 of them. Look, Inviced said, great live stream. Krim said, thank you for being live. You know, and then while I was talking to them, they would comment in. So I talked about Harry Styles. Krim in Ireland says he likes Harry Styles, loves Harry Styles. Inviced in Brunei, Asia, stopped in and loves my stories, right? And where is this? Look at this. Look at this comment here. Is that very nice? Look, I got 50 subscribers today with them too. Look at that. Is that awesome? That's an interesting story. You know, it was so fun and positive for the like 30 minutes that they were on here hanging out with me. All right, I'm ending my live stream now.